We are preparing a film to shoot Rio de Janeiro in 1969 and 1979, two different ages, and using a lot of natural light. Then it was the big challenge for me.
Yeah, I can bet. And we can see that the movie, the cinematography uses lots of natural light. And this is such a pleasure for us to watch. I had the opportunity to see the movie at the theaters last year. I was at the special projection that they made here for the journalists, and it was a very moving experience. Not only by the cinematography, but also by this because of the script, because of the whole story and the whole elements that work together to create such a beautiful story for Joanna. And you said a little bit about your process, and as I was watching, I noticed that the shots are very clean and organized. They use lots of natural light. As you said, you guys were very aware of the sun positions, and we have lots of locations in this film. And I would like to know, you guys worked with storyboards, or you guys just did how you guys did the setting for this movie?
Well, I was involved in all the departments in the pre-production, and not only with the art director, with the costume designer and the art designer, but also in rehearsals with the kids. It was so important to use a small camera in these rehearsals, and most of the rehearsals, it was not a lot of rehearsal, but the rehearsal what it happened in the pre-production. I tried to be with Flavia and the kids, and I use a very small camera just to observe, and after that start creating the language, the way me and Flavia was looking for, because for the director, it was so clear that she desires a long shots without cutting a lot, you know, like if I'm like, for instance, the kitchen. I have a dialogue in the kitchen, and Flavia doesn't want to cut this long dialogue for one camera and second camera here, okay? And it was only one camera on set, not two cameras. And then we decided to use a lot of handheld camera with and the idea, it was not follow all the time, you know, like a cinema verité, or follow the actor, follow the actors, but holding the scene, holding the shot. And then in this few rehearsal I have been with Cassie and Flavia, I tried to discover that handheld, and I made also I use in my I use one app that I really love. It's called Artemis. Artemis, it's really nice because you set the camera, the lens, and the specific camera, the specific lens we are going to use when you're going to shoot, and then you set that in your iPhone, and you can have, and also the aspect ratio of the camera. And in this rehearsal also I use the small camera to shoot and the iPhone to make the real composition with the camera and the lens I will use on the production. And then the AD organize all of these captures, the movie and the stills, and then create kind of storyboards. We didn't have someone to draw the storyboards, but we did a kind of storyboards of specific sequence with this footage that I shot in rehearsals and also scouting the places.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. And also, as we have lots of students from the universities here, I bet they are very interested in this tip that you gave with the app. And for our audience, please feel free to send any questions that you guys had about the cinematography or even about the story, any doubts that you guys had or any thoughts that came up during your view. We are here to also talk to you. Heloisa, I couldn't stop noticing that Unremember has a lot of beautiful scenes. The scene during the rain is very touching, is very emotional because it's very natural. The way that the kids they act together, they behave together. It's very natural. It doesn't look setting in any way. It doesn't look artificial, and it is sometimes a little bit difficult to work with young actors like Childs, not Gianni, because she was already a teenager, but the young Childs would be a little more difficult. And also, I noticed a visual construction that was very skillful, that brings Joanna often in the corner of the painting. In my interpretation, I saw this kind of composition like to highlight the discomfort that she was feeling, and her sense of no belonging, because she just came to a whole new country. Despite her Brazil was her homeland, she almost didn't had any memories from here. And this visual, this cinematography, this cinematic way to tell a story really brings us as an audience to make a deep immersion in the film's story. And I would like to know which were your references to this movie and to these shots that you did, and how was for you to shoot the rain scene with the kids, because for me it was quite a pleasure to watch.
Thank you very much, Bruno. The raining sequence, it was a big challenge. And that's the only day we had two cameras. That's the only day we had me as camera operator, and another woman as a camera operator, Kika. And that day, it was one day to shoot that sequence. No more, no more, and not. And we concentrate, we focus to pre-production, to produce that day, and stay there to have that sequence. The idea all the time, the idea to shoot kids for the crew, not only for the photography crew, but for everybody, is let's be ready. We need to be ready. When you say ready, and then then we did something that we decided to don't say like camera and action. It was very silent set. When we are ready, we tell AD, and Flavia looks at me. I look to Flavia and start shooting. Of course, we have a slate. We have there is a procedure, a technical procedure about sounds, about all departments. But it was so important to don't shout, don't scream, camera, action. No, just have a silence, a silence mode, a silence set to improve the concentration, the focus of the kids. It was so important for everybody to understand that the kids need to be spontaneous and to feel that we're not in, when Flavia and the say for the kids, okay, we're ready, you can go there, you can go there, you can go to the rainy, it's raining, look that, it's raining, it's a fake raining, it's raining, everything is ready, go there and play. And then that's our, it's a kind of no rehearsal for this kind of sequence. Okay, this kind of sequence is let's go play. You have your brother, your sister there, and then let's have that's the area. You have like a square. Then you show a kind of a square. That's the square. That's the square you have to move. You have this place to move on. We can go in and out of this place, but that's the place to play. And we decide to do all the shootings that from the first day to the last day of Unremember with this procedure. Everybody knew that we need to be ready when the kids are coming to the set. And then the rainy day was we spent hours. I think we spent more than we spent half a day preparing, and another half a day was to shoot. And of course it was not a completely a sunny day. It was a little bit cold. It was a rain in a forest. Then it was not a warm day, and the idea is when we started raining with the dry clothes, we have this moment in the sequence when it starts raining. We have the dry clothes. The guys are coming inside of the frame. And then that's how many customers, how many t-shirts and how many dresses we have to change. I think we had only 2 or 3 different ones to do again. Then it was really a big challenge for everybody, not only for the cinematograph point of view. I don't know if I answer you about the rain, or what was the second question?
Yeah, the second question was about the visual construction and always putting Joana in the corner of the painting to show the sense of no belonging that she always has here in Brazil. And bit by bit, she's moving to the center of the frame as she gains confidence of how being Brazilian and discover her history. And it's what kind of influence, if you have any, to produce, to have these ideas and to propose this kind of shooting?
Well, like what I said about the script, in the script, Flavia described the mood of Joanna's mood in Paris is colorful, because she has friends. She doesn't want to leave Paris. She's a teenager in a place that she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to come back to Brazil. And then we call the beginning of the film, Paris is more tropical than Brazil, about colors. And then we decide to look Paris. Paris is her heart. She doesn't want to leave this place, this lovely place. And then we decide to produce all the colors, not only her clothes, but her friends and places. There are colors. It's colorful. And Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, we did a list of the places. Rio de Janeiro, it doesn't mean for Joana Carnival. It doesn't mean a tropical colors. It means a place with big mountains and the stone. It was the big mountain and the stone. It was the point of view of through her window. When she arrived in Brazil, the apartment, when she arrived, and she's going to live in a small room on the back of the building, and her view is a big stone, is a big mountain. And then Rio de Janeiro starting being mountain, stone, and the palette of the color palette, the tones. We build up a tones of bluish, gray, and day by day she's discovering her this place, it start belongs her, but it takes time to happen this, because she spent time discovering her story about the relationship between her grandmother and a new friends, and it's a rediscovering, and the rediscovering it starting sparkling little colors, but not tropical, because it's a time of, we are talking about I call this time, it's in between. It is something it's not exactly but she's discovering something else that is going to sparkling inside her heart. And then the reference to Flavia Castro was films. She gave me she gave me some films to watch. It was more documentary films than fiction. To understand the spontaneous way to shoot. It was so important to understand desire of the director and the mood of the script. It was something between documentary and fiction, because we are talking about spontaneous action, and but also this decision to shoot handheld, and also the idea is it was not to use a jump cut or two cameras, and it was really idea to have long scenes. Yeah.
One of the things that I really enjoyed, I think this is the first feature film for Flavia Castro, right? And it was to me wonderful because there are so many things intertwined on the story. It's not only a political film, but it is also a coming of age for a young girl. It's a family drama. It is so many layers underlying the whole story. It keeps you very attached to the film, watching it very firm. And I read in one of the articles that I was reading about, is this also almost like an autobiography? It is based in many things taken from her own life and her own experience, Flavia's, right?
Yeah, it is. Flavia did an other film before. It's called in Portuguese Diário de uma Busca. I think in English is Diary Letters Revolution. And this film, Before and Remember, it was completely autobiographic. Okay. And Unremember, Flavia tells that it's not completely, it's not totally autobiographic. It was an invention. It was there is a memory inventions. There is of course there is some points very important that she used to live. She left Brazil. She used to live in Paris during from 69 to 79. She came back in 79 because it was the beginning of the anesthesia in Brazil, and then some people starting coming back from 79 because but the military dictatorship in Brazil was from 64 to 85, 21 years. But some people start coming back on 79 because it started opening. It was the beginning of the anesthesia, and Flavia and Flavia had this experience in that age. She left Brazil about 6 and she came back about 16. That's the main issue of her of the story and of her life. And others actions around Joana, the character she created, it's not totally autobiographic, but this period in her life it was. And what I love in that point, that Flavia construct and invented a story around her story. Yeah. She created atmosphere, moods, and stories around her own story, and then it was so deep, so strong, and so emotional for her and for us to be with her, shooting a story that I could see that it's her story, but not 100% because she's recreating the situation. She's recreating the story. Yeah,
that was wonderful. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
We have some thoughts from our audience and some questions. The first one is from Tatiana Machado Griffin, and she says, I was curious to know about casting, finding children and adults who spoke multiple languages, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and who would easily switch between them was so interesting as a viewer. How hard was it to cast for the movie? And I also had this same feeling that they change. This is a multicultural film because the family is multicultural, right? They speak Portuguese, they speak French, they speak Spanish, and to find these children who can easily change the languages must have been a challenge.
I think for casting, I think the premise for the casting and for Flavia, it is all the kids must speak at least French and Portuguese. They must speak both. And then they did a deep work in French schools in Brazil, in a Pasteur college in Rio, and also they open some tests in São Paulo, I think. I'm not sure, but they start looking for kids in school, in French schools in Rio, and of course Flavia had someone, it was not exactly a coach, but it's someone to prepare these kids. It was really nice because when I was in a pre-production phase, I talked with you about the rehearsals, and that person, Amanda, was there with the kids preparing, because it was first time of all of them. It was first time in motion picture, all the kids and especially Joanna. It was first film for all, and the casting, it's for me it was brilliant. It was so special. Oh, Bruno is okay.
No,
yeah, it's really special. The kids and Joanna, so special. So special. It was a intense, a deep work, casting in a French schools, and most of them they have or a father French, a mother Brazilian, something like that, or mother French and father Brazilian, something like that, mixed culture, mix.
Because they must have these two languages, so it's easier if one of the parents are from France. Tatiana also comments that she loved how Jojo, she's so intimate with the character that she used in the nickname.
Jojo, yeah.
Yes. She loved how Jojo always switches to France when she wants to express anger and frustration. And it is clear that she feels more in control when speaking French with her mother. Language is such a powerful tool in this movie. Thank you for this masterpiece.
Wow.
And also Paulo Procno said this is a great movie indeed. It has multiple layers, but never tries to impose one point of view. And he just asked how the movie was received here in Brazil. Okay,
let's answer the last one, then I go to Tatiana comments. The movie, I remember premiere international in Venice Film Festival in 2018, and then made the career in Brazil in the theaters last year, 2019. It was in 2018 was premiere in Venice, and then in Rio Film Festival, and the film was I was very privileged because I've been in Venice with this film. It was really an unforgettable section in the Venice Film Festival in 2018. And in Brazil, it was so important, this film, because we are in 2018, we are in election. We're in discussion the president election, and with this film in festivals in Brazil, and after that we go to the movie theaters. I think the film stayed 2 months in Rio, and more than 10 cities in Brazil. I'm not sure how many cities, but for sure in the main capitals in Brazil, and remember I have been, and also I've been with Flavia, and Flavia have been in a different debates, and also with audience, and she worked a lot with when the film launched in Brazil, because it was so important moment to debate and to Q&A, question and answers about our story, our memories, and how difficult it was for us. It still is difficult for us to talk about this time, the military and civil dictatorship in Brazil, and it's something that Flavia did a lot, because she was with the film debate in different places, not only movie theaters, but also in some universities, and what is the film still moving on. That's the reason I'm here with you guys, because it's so important to talk about this story. What Ariane said, it's a family drama. It's a Brazilian story, and we can't forget what happened that time. It was a tough time, and the big, I think for us the big problem in Brazil, it's about how the anesthesia happened here. Yeah, and we need to talk about this. Not only Brazilian people, but everybody needs to know our story, how it was tough.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, because here in Brazil, sometimes we have the tendency, and our governors sometimes have the tendency to try to forget some points of our history, and the history which is remembered, it's not repeated. And this is an urgent point that we have to look and to discuss about. Heloísa, one of my last questions for you is that, as we know, the cinema, it's not the most equally in gender, as we can see. Ancine released its last review, its poll data, and it backs to 2016, and it said that only a little less than 20% of Brazilian films released in 2016 had a female cinematographer, and the number from female directors, they're not better than that, not so better. And I like you, we have lots of students here from colleges in the United States. I would like you to send them some message for the girls, the young women that are inspired by cinematography and want to follow this career, I would like to talk to them and say about your story, because you're very well known here in Brazil and your work is exquisite. And you certainly is a role model for lots of these young women. And I would like you to send them some kind of message if you want.
Well, I would love to share, of course, around the world, female cinematography is not the majority. It's not only in Brazil, in the United States also. I'm a member, I'm a part of the group called Cinematograph XX. That's the female cinematographers in Brazil, because I used to work in US as cinematographer. And what is important is I think each one has her proper history, but what's important is to believe and to work in what you believe, and what you if you and try to work hard, and what you, if you desire to be something, work and focus to be and to realize your desire, your wishes. If you have a privilege to go to cinema school, and your feeling is, my desire is to be cinematographer, director of photograph, you can do that. Everybody can do that. But of course, the doors are not completely open for us. That's the point. Then what we need to do? We need to join people who has who are not racist, who has open eyes, open mind, because we find what I think I was luck, but it was not only luck, because I always look for people and stories with people with open mind and open mentality, and then the doors start open for me. But I think I break a lot of walls years and years ago, because the doors was not completely open. But in my mind, when I started working, I met only 2 or 3 women working in photograph department. It was enough for me to believe that I could get that place one day, because I saw in the beginning Katia and Isabella working 30 years ago, in 1990, and I saw these girls, and I said, wow, if Katia and Isabella are doing this, why I cannot do that also? Then that girls for me was inspiring me a lot, and I start follow people in the market, and don't give up. And don't give up. But we know the when the it is I call this photograph about gender, less woman in not only cinematography, but if you go and see the list of original soundtrack, who is the composers? No women. Where's the woman in soundtracks? Where's the woman in it's not only in cinematography, but I think it's a structure problem, and we need to believe that we can change that. We can change this status quo. We can change this situation, and we can do that. But what is so important is to join with people and make a group or a collective to discuss how to do together. Because if you can do with another girls, if you have a group, I think it's easier to break the wall.
Yeah.
Was that?
I'm friends with Luisa Pécora here in Brazil. She is responsible for the website Woman in Film, in Portuguese, Mulher no Cinema. And she also, she always says that, first of all, she talked to everyone to do the 52 Film by Women challenge, which is to watch at least one movie per week directed or with a female leading character. And she also says that the importance for us as viewers to prestige these productions, to watch these productions directed by females while they're in the movies, because this it sends a clear messages that we want to see these stories. We like to see this kind of productions. Not that is some kind of female gaze, as some people like to think about that. I'm strongly disagree with this. I don't believe in male or female gaze. I believe in human gaze, because it's the way that we see, and there is lots of different ways to see, and it's not divided by gender. But when we go to the movies in the first weeks that we have a film released, it is a clear message to the distributors, to the producers, that we want to see more of that. So for us as viewers, when people sometimes ask me as a film critic what I think about this issue, I always say to prestige, to watch these films, to post on social media, because this is the way that we can we can help, and we can see more diversity in the movies, because this is what about, we can be locked, we can be closed in one way narrative, because there is multiple ways to see the world. And Ariane, if you have any more questions to Heloísa.
Well, the one thing only that I think to me is always on all these films that we bring, because we bring films with social conscience. That's my main goal. Every film that we bring has some very important subject. And on this, there were so many. But one of the things that I think for those of us who have very similar experience by living, abroad, on a different country, and have children that are grown up in a different country and everything. It is very important. Sometimes people forget their history, and I don't want to forget my history. And I think this one, even though it's a subtle, it shows on a subtle way, all the political implications of having a family have to be gone to, abroad because of the political system. And then the adaptation when they come back, it's not an easy process. It's a very difficult process. And at the same time that, when the dictatorship ended and they opened up for people the amnesty came, and people could come back who had been in the, abroad because of the politics. They also had, at the same time that they opened up to allow the people to come back, they opened up for those who have been really how do you call them? The ones who instilled all the bad things on the people who did the crimes, and they were also released from prison. It was all open for them too. So that to me was very, and to this day, I don't think the people have been judged or anything. And I think we need to know that. We need to know the laws, what they are when there is a dictatorship, and what they become when the dictatorship is open. We still have to have that present in our minds. And to me, I love history, and I just think that we need to learn. We need to keep our history present so that we can do something better in our country. But the film is very, very interesting in that aspect too. And what do, when you come back, when you return to a better situation, or at least you think it is a better situation. I love Flavia Castro's and movie because I think being one of her first, it was a marvelous work. And when I talked to her, I had invited her, and she said, I cannot be there, but please invite Heloisa because she was with me in all aspects of it. She knows the film just upside down, just like I do, So I'm so glad that you could be here, Heloisa, with us. It is really, really wonderful. And so Flavia lives mostly in Paris right now, or in Brazil, or she goes back and forth?
She goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Paris. Her daughter and her son, they study in Paris, and she back and forth between Paris and Rio.
Well, I don't know how to thank you because I think it has been wonderful to have you talking to us. And Bruno, you too, who has been doing so much. We'll still see you tomorrow. But we are arriving almost at the end of our 12-day MOSTRA Festival. And there are so many people and organizations that we need to thank, without which support we could not provide this festival and bring these films to our audience this year, a virtual audience. But I think it has been a very different experience for us. It was a challenge. It was the first time we do a virtual festival. But I think it has been well received. And so to our numerous sponsors, in particular, the Department of Cultural Affairs, our umbrella organization partners of the Americas in Washington, the several universities, Northwestern, University of Chicago, Columbia College Chicago, DePaul, Purdue in Indiana, and several others. The Indiana chapter of Partners of the Americas, and all those in our virtual audience who also made donations for us to be able to provide this for free to our audience. We really want to thank so many of them, everyone. I also want to give a special thank you to my curatorial committee, because we spent hours and hours reviewing so many films, and we have to choose so few of them. To the moderators, I think I really have to thank Bruno, did a lot of them, but we also had Francesco Ballerini, Mariana Santos, Claudia Balbi, and José Ricardo Jacinto, who helped us out on our discussions. Thank you so much. To the many businesses and individuals who donated to our silent auction. And by the way, the silent auction is still on the air. You are still able to get some items if you want, and that will help us also. And our virtual team working behind the scenes. You can come up, Lua and Felipe too, if you want to, who are the ones today here with us. I had 6 very bright, talented young people, 5 women and 1 young man, all of them students or just graduates from Columbia College, DePaul, and my granddaughter from University of McGill University in Canada, who just graduated and is back in Chicago, without whom I could not have brought this virtual MOSTRA to fruition, really. And so it has been a delight to work with these young people. They were so interested, so preoccupied of having everything done right. And, when you see young people like that have will to do something good and doing it well, it really brings a lot of hope to my heart, because I think we still have very good young people in this world that can do some very good things. So, and last and most of all, thanks to our virtual audience. Without you, there would be no meaning to this festival. I hope you will join us tomorrow for our very special panel that is sponsored by the Partners of the Americas in Washington. It's a panel on gender, and we'll be presenting one short film, and then the panel will discuss the gender subject, and the last film of the festival, which is Aos Nossos Filhos, Our Children, who will be shown at 7 o'clock in the evening. The panel is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we'll have a little break, then we'll have the discussion with the other films. So I hope you are there with us tomorrow, and both of you, thank you so, so much, Heloisa and Bruno, for helping us out, bring light into a lot of these films that we have here. Thank you so much. And please give my best and my love to Flavia, because I think it was a wonderful production. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. It was so special, and Flavia Castro is really special also. And I think it's so important to look at our past, to not only to understand our history, but also to do not repeat mistakes and violent times. And I think Unremember has this deep proposal to look at our past and to make a reflection to do not repeat violent times.
Exactly.
Not only in Brazil but around the world.
Everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Bye.